When a Stranger Calls, in-depth horror discussion review, part 3. We left off with the killer. She already checked the killer and she came back downstairs.
And the killer calls
for the 5th time.
And he's like, how are the children?
And then she flips out and hangs
she realizes for the first time that...
like something crazy's going on.
No, that he can see her.
Oh, yeah.
And what she's doing, because she went and
knows,
checked the children.
Yeah, so, alright. So
it's the first time he's talked more.
So then she calls the cops. The cops again.
And it does the pan around cam.
And then
Camilla
freaking, he's like, have you threatened you? He's like, honestly, we can't do anything. He's like, honestly, miss, it's just some asshole.
No, she drops the phone and she shuts the huge drapes. They show that scene. And then she calls the cops back.
Yeah,
Go on.
But it's the type,
and he's like, if you wanted to break
house,
in, he wouldn't be calling you.
Yeah, he's like, you got the alarm system set. It's okay. You're safe in there. And he's like, it's just some asshole trying to hassle you.
She's like, you know what? We could trace the call, or if he's on a cell phone, we could GPS it. If you keep him on the line more than 60 seconds, even though this is 2006, and we'd be able to trace it a lot quicker than that. But
she's like, okay.
But it's a total movie, so I'm just gonna say that.
So then it goes back to
and he's like, we're too busy over here at the station to send anyone out there. We're too busy busting kids for MIPs.
He's like, we're too busy at the high school Wicker Man burning. Alright, so then she goes.
So then it cuts right back to number 6 of the Stranger Call.
Killer calls and freaking says nothing. And freaking, then she tries.
So she couldn't get a trace.
She tries to hold him on the line. Yeah, she's like, all right. So she clicks her watch, to try to get him on for 50. And she's like, dang, 50 seconds. She didn't get him. She's like, almost.
Yeah, they cut it so that it's supposed to jump through time.
And then also, this is where she goes to the window and she looks out and she sees the light come on at the guest house.
And it's like green pond light shining on her too.
Oh,
she knows the light on the guest house turns on.
And she's like,
so she calls the guest house from the freaking numbers on the fridge.
Yeah, and she's like, because it's their freaking son that comes home from college.
And she leaves a message.
She's like, hey, she's like, if it's you, Rosa, or if it's you, I'm the babysitter.
Hey Todd, if you're out there getting drunk or smoking some pot,
I'm the babysitter, and I called the cops because something crazy is going on.
So put your stash away and come over here and sit with me.
Alright, so anyways,
until the cops come.
And then she hangs up with that phone call, but then she's still looking out there and she sees a shadow walk past. This is one of the dope creepy parts.
So she knows that someone's in there.
Yeah, she sees someone in there. She's like, and definitely in real life, you'd be like, okay, I'm definitely not going out there. Freaking.
Oh yeah, so the only thing she arms herself with is a candlestick and a flashlight.
Yeah, she goes to get a candlestick in the kitchen, and then she goes out there, locks the house.
This is when she runs through the windy trail.
This is hardcore filler, dude, of her walking through the trail to get
No, it's tight. It's tighter than the house. Cool. No, at least they go outside the house. What
it's the tightest 2 minutes of my life.
No, it was dope. Anyways, it's a tight feel. It's like Sleepy Hollow, like Boogeyman style. If you ever seen those movies. She gets up to the guest house, and it's like freaking a total college freaking set stage for a college student, like a snowboard. Oh no, they put all the cliche in there.
Freaking hey.
If you open the drawer, it would be a stash.
If you open the drawer, it'd be
and a bunch of
bowls.
Shake.
All right, so freaking and some freaking incense. It's freaking go on. So she's
and they had the
around.
bead door, and she goes through a bead room. They're like, "Hey, make her go through it." And
it's like the 90s.
They decided to do filler in there.
Like
for
she's
no
going
reason.
to see the Oracle or
There's
something.
Longboards
she opens the beads.
Even though if it was realistic, it would just be like a bunch of empty pizza boxes and used condoms.
All right, so freaking.
And beer cans, of course. And of course, Luke can't even take.
No.
So the stranger calls the guest house.
Calls the guest house.
She's like, "Why are you calling me?"
And she's like,
and they think a bunch of filler lines for her to say.
She's like,
what a 17-year-old girl would say, and she's like, "How do you know I'm out here?
Why are you doing this, huh? Did you see me go upstairs?" She's like, "How did you get this number?" And then freaking...
She doesn't even check her back. She's not even worried because it's a total movie scene. Yeah, they just tell her to face the camera. So she's not even worried about her surroundings. Even though he'd come around like the Boston Strangler.
You can tell it's a total movie scene because she's trying to keep him on for 50 seconds. And they only talk for literally 10, 15 seconds. And she looks down at her watch and she's like, got him. And it's like a minute, 3 seconds on her watch.
Total control.
And you're like, okay, a minute did not just go by. But okay, I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
Should have been... Yeah. So then the cops should have been there by now too, because if that's how fast time goes, the cops should have been there a while ago.
Alright, so no, and then she looks out at the guest house window, and she looks at the house, and up to the right, it's kind of hard to see for the first time. I didn't even notice it, I had to rewind it. But to the right, at the top right, the window goes on the second level. She's like, what the... So then she goes back, she runs up to the house, it's total fill of her running through the trail to get to the house again.
Yeah.
And then she finally gets there.
That's why they put the track scene in there, and she's running like she's in track too. No, and she's like actually running fast. It like looks retarded.
Yeah, because she's a tough girl. We casted a tough girl.
So
freaking no. So she gets to the freaking house. Alarm goes off, but this time the freaking alarm company don't even call.
As soon as she enters the house, number 8. As soon as it's total script written, like number 8 from the stranger. And
yeah,
just
phone calls number 8 from the killer, and he says, no.
She's like, was that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, he doesn't say nothing at all for the first like minutes or so.
She's sure. Oh yeah, she realized that she was on the outhouse phone, and the cops weren't tracing that number, so she had to get him on this.
Yeah, she's
like,
dang,
phone.
I didn't get him on the right phone line.
Yeah.
So she had to go back to the house, and then the phone calls for the 8th time. It's the killer.
And she's like, if you're not trying to scare me, then what are you trying to do?
And she's like, what do you want? And he's like, your blood all over me.
That was scary.
And you're like, wow, this is scary. And then she's flipping out at this point. So she goes.
Oh yeah, it was a tight shot. Oh, and I gotta mention the soundtrack throughout that is just brilliant score.
Okay, this is where she freaking goes to...
Which is what we're playing right now.
This is where she goes to the shower, because she hears the shower on, and she's like completely petrified while she got up there. And she goes over there and opens it. It's a jump scare where there's nothing behind it. She just turns the shower off. And then she hears
What is she doing walking into an enclosed like space like that? That's all I think.
No, she was in the master room right there when she was up there, and then there's the other bathroom right there.
Okay, then this is hardcore.
You wouldn't go through that door. You'd be scared.
Alright, well, this is hardcore trailer. This is when the cop calls, and she's like, don't call me anymore, you asshole. And he's like, Jill, we traced the call. It's coming from inside
the house.
Total trailer.
And freaking,
I remember the TV spots in the winter of '06 coming off of this up the butt. That was also when the Super Bowl was in Detroit.
And then, she thinks it's a killer when the cop calls, and she's like, hey,
he's like, it's coming from inside the house.
No, then she turns around.
Oh.
No, so she's still
in
the bathroom.
And it's like a nice zoom-in dome shot.
No, the phone rings
again.
The
only dome shot I'm going to say I ever liked. Because
not the house phone, but it's a freaking cell phone of freaking her friend Katie.
I could do with the filler in this movie, I got to say, because the girls are just hot.
Yeah, right.
Camilla's just hot.
Anyway. So she hears the phone ringing on the floor.
And then the power goes out from the storm. Did you say that?
Yeah, the power goes out, and then she freaking hears the phone call.
She turns
around.
Cassidy's dead
and
body.
And it's the freaking PG-13 version of a dead body.
With the freaking cell phone blinking. So there's no gore.
So then she's like, ah!
No blood. But she's dead, though.
So she runs downstairs.
Last time you see Katie Cassidy. And she's got her phone back, so the killer was calling her from inside the bathroom, like raping her in there.
No, this is where it goes to fill...
She died from rape, I guess.
No, this is where it goes to fill her up the butt. So she goes downstairs
to
get the kids.
Scared, creepy.
To get the kids. No, up in the upstairs, the other part of the upstairs. She goes in.
Turn on the soundtrack, you douche. Anyway, she goes to find...
Mr. Creepshow is a douche.
She goes to find the kids. They're not there.
So then she's flipping out, and it's Philip.
The kids are totally caught up on like what's going on.
No, then she freaking for some reason checks the toy chest. Oh yeah. For some reason, the kids already know what's going on. They're hiding. Okay, you're like, what the hell?
She's like, I'm Jill, the babysitter. Come on. They're like, all right, we trust you. You got boobs. You're like 17. Yeah, you look like a babysitter. So then the kids are like total extras.
They're total freaking
actor. They're total like child actor. Child actors, no lines. They treat them like extras.
No, the director. The director freaking hired him. He's like, if you want to be in this movie, you got
no lines. If you
want to
make it in Hollywood,
all you gotta do is suck your thumb.
Act scared.
He's like, cry, whine like a little baby, and ask for your mom and suck your thumb. And then he's like, actually, don't call for your mom.
And don't say anything.
Don't call for your mom because you don't have any lines.
Total set. Strangers, and then this is when we see the stranger for the first time. He's up in the ceiling. Turn on the soundtrack and shut up.
Yeah, douche.
And he jumps down. It's a total set because, there is no ceiling. It's just 2x4s all put together.
And you're like, okay,
it's like the set from Scream 3.
You're like, oh, I get it. It's a set.
So then Jill locks the kids in the bathroom.
She just has a random freaking shoestring to tie on the handlebar to the freaking the towel rack on the wall.
Yeah, and then the kids are
the kids are doing their lines wonderfully, just crying. and just flipping out.
No, then they go through the window, which leads up to the bio garden.
No, this is where you're like a total set, because she tells them to go out the window in the bathroom on the second floor, and it leads right down to the living room in the bio garden. It doesn't even make sense. So anyway, they go down through there, and they jump down there.
They're all in the biodome. They're all holding each other instead of running out.
And then it's a jump scare of the killer coming up to the glass. And she's like, ah! And then she's Katie's...
No, I gotta say this. No, they're holding each other. No, and they hear someone coming down the stairs, and they decide to throw in... No, there's no action in the whole movie, and they decided to throw in the cat as a jump scare right here. I gotta say this. Why would they do that? They did a fake jump scare in the middle of the action again. You're like, I want to see someone get killed in front of me.
Well, it's just like a thriller shot where they cut to the black cat while the action's going on. Wow.
This is the end of the movie. I wait. It all builds up for this, and you're like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Total set. Alright, so
as if we needed another tease.
So then the kids are waiting, and the freaking...
So then the stranger appears behind them. Of course.
Yeah. No, she sends the kids out the door, and they run to the front door, and the lock's up all the way at the top of the freaking ceiling, and they jump.
She turns on the sprinklers. I gotta say.
I already said that, asshole. All right. So, anyways,
I'm the new asshole.
All right. So So the kids are jumping for like 3 minutes. Yeah. So while she sends the kids out the door, she gets her hair caught in the freaking door, and
she hides under the bridge in the water, and she sees Rose's dead body.
Well,
with the carpfish going. That's a key part.
That's what
he killed her in there.
So then and he sees the kids just...
No, the kids, instead of, they just go to the one door. They're just the actor's like, alright, go to that door, then jump up there. Yeah, they would know the whole house. They would know everywhere in it to get out.
It's cutting between the action of the killer
so they don't go anywhere else.
Inside the biodome. It cuts to them at the door for 3 minutes of them just jumping a half a foot, we can't get it, And you're like, wow, really? Total movie. Alright, so she gets her hair caught in the door by the killer grabbing it.
So she can't find the kids.
Finally, she rips free.
She finally rips free, and you can see the kids right in front of her, and then she can't find them for no reason. That's like a plot hole.
Oh, yeah, they were there forever trying to get the handle.
And they show her the same camera shot of them all in there, and then it's just like... And she's opening up every door looking for them. Suspense. They decide to do that. Slow down the movie again.
Even if the kids got the top lock all the way at the way top, the actual doorknob was still locked. Freaking idiots.
And then she shows Then they show all the birds chirping. The birds that they only had for 2 days of shooting.
No, the prop birds.
No, then the cat's eating one of the birds. That's a tight shot. The black cat.
Yeah, because this is where it's implying. No, she walks back, because she can't find the kids, and then this is implying that the killer broke out of the biodome because the birds are everywhere in the house, and it shows the black cat eating one of the prop birds. It's tight. And
so then she finds the kids under the stairs. And then that's when...
Even though she's calling the kids names, she's like, hey, it's the babysitter. And then they go to run out the front door. So they would have freaking came out. She freaking finds them under the stairs.
So she gets kids, and they go running out the front door, and that's when the killer, pulls her back. And it's like a total stunt woman.
He's hiding behind a part right at the front door, and she sends him out the front door, and she's going out, and he grabs it. Oh.
No, then it's like a Jill and this stranger fight scene. They're going blow for some reason. He's in pretty good shape. He's killed a bunch of people. He's killed 15 people.
Yeah, but they fight each other.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going punch for punch, and they're fighting up the stairs, and they fall down. It's like a total stunt woman. And then they struggle on the ground. That's when you see the tequila left over from Katie Cassidy's character.
And they're freaking struggling.
And she grabs the controller.
No, she throws the freaking tequila, and you think that it was meant to hit the killer. And you're like, wait, did she plan this? And
Alright, we're going to go to part
4.
And we're going to sum up the whole ending so we could have enough time to talk about all that we want to talk about.
Alright, we'll leave off with the scene where they're fighting on the ground of Part 4, When a Stranger Calls, 2006, in-depth horror discussion movie review.